Somebody asked me the other day, totally off the cuff, and I was caught a little unaware. Of course, we had a presidential election recently. Everybody knows that. But somebody asked me, what's the intersection between divorce and politics? Are you seeing more divorces now because of the presidential election? And then it came the question of women's issues versus men's issues. What were the major issues in the last presidential election? I believe statistically the biggest issues were immigration, the economy, and for some others, foreign policy. And then came the issue of abortion, what is perceived to be women's rights on both sides, what that means to them. And there were advertisements. This question caught me thinking about the advertisements that some of us were privy to before the election. There were some advertisements on one side of the aisle that if a woman is going with her husband to the voting booth, that she can knowingly smile to other women as if I'm going to vote for this one candidate. Nobody needs to know. It's our little secret. We're not under anybody's thumb. We speak for ourselves. But that didn't really necessarily resonate with a lot of folks because everybody in today's society, I imagine, speaks for themselves. That they have complete autonomy, they're not under anybody's proverbial thumb, and nobody is being told what to do. But this, of course, can be considered to be a relic. We've talked about gray divorce before. We've talked about sleep divorce. Well, why not political divorce? If we're talking about political divorce, does it have to be Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, independent, libertarian, Green Party? Does it have to be? No, but that is the biggest polarizing shift, North Pole, South Pole. Let's say a husband is very liberal and certain issues concern him. His wife is very conservative, maybe perhaps more religious, certain issues concern her. Is that really grounds for a divorce? If there's an election that brings these issues to the forefront, are they just going to ignore it? Are they going to ignore each other? Are they going to pretend there's no election? Are they going to pretend that there are no major issues in society? Or are they going to talk about it? Are they going to address these things in their household? Are they going to try to come to a consensus opinion? Is it okay that they have different opinions? And this, of course, bleeds over into divorce. If your spouse has a vastly different opinion from you, then how do you live with that? Is that okay with you? Are you open-minded enough? Or is this issue so severe, as perhaps the issue of abortion may be for some folks, whether they have religious objections or whether they are not religious, pro-life, pro-choice, what have you. And I'm speaking broadly. I'm not pinpointing and mischaracterizing any one individual. But this is such a severe issue that if you and your spouse are at opposite ends of this issue, how do you reconcile that? And again, didn't you know that when you married this person? When many people get married, political differences and viewpoints on these topics may not be first amongst their concerns. But over time, as life happens, as you become experienced in life, as your marriage unfolds, maybe you have children, maybe you've been through rough times, maybe somebody you know has been through a rough time, incidents happen, and these issues are almost heaped upon national attention, and then it creeps its way into your own household. If you talk about these things and you completely disagree, is that going to create a division in your marriage, some sort of a catastrophic divide that leads to dissolution of marriage? Well, I can't tell you anything about my law practice because that would breach confidentiality. But what have I seen in society? That this particular election, in my opinion, I don't have the statistical evidence yet, it's been 2 weeks. In society, I do not believe it has caused any more divorces than were already underway. Because there are ultimate equalizers in a marriage. Finances, children, love for each other, and romance. Not every romance is created the same. Not every partnership is created the same. Not everybody is looking for somebody that is a carbon copy of him or herself. Sometimes we appreciate differences. And most rational, reasonable people do not throw tantrums and do not have complete schisms with each other just because they have a difference in opinion. They try to work with each other and understand each other, and they build this over time because in a marriage there's supposed to be a trust and a fabric between the two parties. So from what I've witnessed, generally speaking, broad brush, that this has not impacted divorces in a significant way. The statistics may soon come to show a different story, But I do not believe that politics has all of a sudden created divorce where it didn't previously exist. And I do not believe that this past presidential election is somehow going to lead to a mass number of divorces that were not already underway or being contemplated. Thank you.